because when COVID started, I could drinking every day. Could go buy a crate of New beer, and I was drinking the whole weekend. The beer finished in 3 days. Everything you hear in the Bible, it's in your mind. When I look back in my life and I read the Bible, I see myself in there. To be able to do everything, it's your health first. Look after your health. To share with my friends, my Africans, relatives, brothers and sisters, it's the key. We share it.
Okay, welcome back to the Rubasha family podcast, guys. We're here for another fantastic episode. Dad, how do you feel?
Yeah, very good, Eve, and thank you again for this opportunity. We can share our views.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Dad, I think one important aspect of life is the spiritual realm. You know, all of us, whether you believe in God or not, we've all gone through a spiritual journey, and I think we can add value to so many people's lives. So, Dad, we've got a lot of questions because, you know, you've been on this wave right now where you're preaching the word of God, and we want to get to know and ask questions. You know, how can whatever you say add value? For the person who doesn't know maybe what you've been talking about God, and we're going to have a lot more content on that on the way. So let's talk about how it all started. And so let's go back to how did you grow up when it comes to Christianity, faith, these type of things?
Yeah. So for me, thank you, Eve, again. So my background is that, of course, I was born in Rwanda. And our family was more the Catholic, so we didn't grow up in the church. So I went through all ceremony in the Catholic Church. We really attended a very nice cathedral, which called Saint Michel.
From what ages?
Since I was a kid, I associated with myself in the church.
Okay.
Yeah, and then all our family we used to go Sunday church. I used to serve the church. I used to participate. We used to have like Wednesday. So also you to go activity which was like Bible studies.
Okay.
So always like that.
So ever since a little child you remember going to church?
Yes.
What were some of the rituals you remember?
At least for them and the Catholic was more, so everything, the ceremonial, the baptism, all those, it was so fun. Mm-hmm. And also we used to meet with other friends or other kids. It was a social gathering, and they always used to be good. Sunday, dress well. To go to church.
So, like your whole family, dad, mom,
yes,
as a family?
Dad, he never used to go much.
Oh, he never used to go?
Much. He could go like occasionally, but him, he wasn't that going all the times.
Did he talk much about God?
No, he was busy doing his business much, so yes. No.
It wasn't a big thing where he talked about it much.
Yes, so he could let the family just go there, but him, he never talk much about it.
Okay. So how often would he come to church in a month?
It could go maybe only when there are weddings or when you have a ceremony or a baptism, a memorial, all those used to be there.
Okay.
Or also some other kids or family. So because you see what happened, we used to live a small city, which everybody knows everybody. So you found also he had to be godfathers, so those occasionally could be in the
communion.
The church. Yes, communions.
Yes,
that. All those things used to be coming between families and.
Okay, because I think it's always important to go back to childhood because they say the programming. So the way someone has his thoughts about the world, their view, their opinions is from the ages usually from 1 to 7 because that's when your subconscious is learning. So from a young age, you're going to church, you're learning this is what's becoming into your program. And this is why for many years they're stuck in a certain program. So the only reason I go back to that is when you were going to church, going to all these things, did you ever question in your mind or it was just in the program? So you never questioned it?
So it was in the program. So we never question about it. So when you were kids, we thought that is what it is. That is how life it is. And also in the Catholic, we used to have these things every Wednesday or Saturday. So you have to go to repentance. So which to go to say what the sin you have made.
You used to do that?
Yes, we used to do that. We go in front of the priest, He's studying there. It was like something curtain here, and then you say what you did. You see, we thought that was life.
Wow.
Yes.
And from what age were you doing this?
Man, since you were a child, especially when you grow up, I think maybe primary school.
Wow.
Yes.
So, did you ever like
to confess? Yes, you have to go to confess your sins to him, and then he can pray for you, be forgiven.
But you and I don't mean to like laugh in a disrespectful way. The only reason I'm laughing is because did you ever question when you're going there? I'm telling something to a man. This is a man just like anyone else, and then he's gonna go talk to God to like. Did it, or you just said he's gonna forgive me for my sins?
Yes, that's how we told. That's how fanatic we were. That is how the system was. Yes.
Okay. When you would leave church, because a lot of times when you're programmed, you're going to church, it becomes like an kind of like muscle memory. You memorize all the prayers, So when you would leave the church, would you ever pray? Would you ever like take anything personal or think about anything? Or
yes, we used to have like a small booklet. Always, some time to times, we have to read it, and also to school. It was also they had to have like the program where we have the regionals, which is always sometime even the school. I think it used to be like every Wednesday. So the regional, so we have to play again. It was consistent things to happening. You see in country, even when you go to eat, always the prayer used to
pray. Yeah. Okay, it's good to start that. Okay, and so to talk us more about your spiritual journey.
So now I left in Rwanda, so now I grew up in Rwanda, and then I moved to Kenya, and then also when I go to Kenya, I continue to be in church, but now I change. I become Protestant because Rose, my wife.
So what's a Protestant for people who maybe don't know?
So it's the people who believe. They are different belief than Catholic and than Protestant. They have their own belief. Yes, which I can't remember which one. That I become a member of that, and we used to attend also Nairobi Chapel. So even we used to go every day Sunday to church. Most of the time, if mom she's away from work, I can go myself with Ian. So also when I go to Kenya, I grow up in church. And then the same again, when we moved to Australia, also we end up in the church. So that's why we meet Miss and Mrs. Brown, and they become Presbyterian. And we attend Bexley Presbyterian Church. So all my life, it was just church.
So did you ever, like, when you went from Catholic to Protestant, did you ever go back and ever question that thing, like you with the priest and the repentance? You go to another human being, okay, yes, a man of God, but you go to another human being, and then he goes and talks to God to forgive you. When you went, and then, because in Protestant, it's you believed, or Christianity, from what I've taught, is you can pray to the Father directly. You know what I mean? So did you ever question that? Like,
no, I don't question about that. Because it was just like to be fun. It's where you belong. It's your place you have to go Sunday, something like that. So I never questioned anything from that time. When
you never questioned it.
No.
So what would you repent? Like, give me an example. What would you come and say to him?
To the priest?
Yeah.
Maybe we steal some things. Maybe you beat your kids' friends there.
Did you ever feel shy to say to another man?
You couldn't feel shy because you see he was a priest. You could be feared, but we used to have like a queue, one after one, and then you go to repent, and then you go home.
And that's it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they're still doing it. So we have to find out people in Rwanda to call my friends there to see if kids still go for repentance.
So, and the person that you're confessing to, this priest, would you see him?
Yeah, daily. You see them daily. They are your priest. You know them. Everything's there.
So he knows your business.
Yes, he knows your family. Knows everything's there. He could know what people they did. Even I hear some story. The people who get caught. So even old people used to go there. And then some people can get caught because they confess, and then the police come catching them. But I'm not sure if that was true, but it's what they were saying. There are people who confess, and then later the priest came.
Wow, because you're saying this to another man, he could use that information even.
Yes, they did that. And then also, it was like a spying trap. It's a spying trap. Because the priest knows every congregation. He knows every member of the congregation. Yes. And the people keep going there.
Wow.
Yes. And that's why I'm saying I'm not sure if people still doing it. Maybe they do. I'm not sure now.
Yeah, because it's very. I always seen it in the movies, and even in the movies, I always used to. I never used to get it. Like, it used to confuse me. Okay, yeah, no, that's very interesting.
Yes, that's what the difference now. The Catholic, maybe Protestant, so and Presbyterian, because that things, it is not there. So we just go to Bible study as we pray to God.
So, okay, you grow up now in Australia. I remember going to church every Sunday.
Yes.
It was the ritual.
So even Australia, I went to Bex. I never questioned anything there. I taught it how it is there. So now this thing comes now recently now when we are at COVID period. So now what happened now, I started using YouTube. I started Googling about Christianity. I started doing things
What
there.
made you do that?
Sometimes things change. It's just, in the COVID period, there was no quite things to do. And then some things come in to me, say, look, there is no work. And then I Google it. What people can you do when you don't have a job and you have a time? And they you could educate yourself, and then that's why I went to YouTube. But I was going to YouTube just to see everything, marketing, everything else you can do between the things there.
So that's very, very interesting. COVID was like that, where it just made you reset.
Yes,
so you didn't know what to do with your time.
No, COVID reset me. COVID changed everything in me on that day. Because when COVID started, I could drinking every day.
What were you drinking?
Used to buy, mom used to go buy beer for me, because stay in the house. You could go buy a crate of New beer. And I was drinking the whole weekend, the beer finished in 3 days.
So within the week, you were just drinking beers?
And I said, no, this can't be life. This can't be life. So now, it's how I Google it, I change. Start everything now. Stop drinking, and then start look after myself. Healthy, educate myself on social media. I was doing all those small courses.
So before COVID, was health a thought?
No, it was a thought. Just enjoy working, come, sit, watch TV. Go work, come, we can go have a beer, come, sit, watch TV. Look after the kids. That was life. I've never questioned anything about what else can I do. I think COVID become like
awakening. Okay. Yeah. Were you scared during COVID?
No, I was not scared because I didn't know what was going on. So, but because when you don't know when you go back to work, and then luckily also I had to do something else. So when you work, there's no fear anymore.
On this path of life that I'm on right now, I'm always thinking about the future. I'm always thinking about my financial future. How can I make important moves now that are going to impact me when I'm older? This video is sponsored by Raiz. Every time you get an income, you can set weekly, monthly, daily investment goals. You can put aside money while you're growing and seeking the best future for yourself. For me, what I do is every week I have an amount and it puts the money into the stock market. It's all about compounded interest. The actions and the things that you do today are impacting your future. So for me to continually having that compounding interest of money being put away into the stock market, by the time I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, that amount is generational wealth. That is the power of compounded interest. It's always important to think about your future, always important to think about tomorrow and 20 to 30, 40 years from now. What Raiz has done with the Rubasha Family Podcast, they're going to give you $5 once you sign up with the Raiz app and you're approved. You can start your financial journey today. None of this is financial advice. Hit the link in the description, get $5 into your account once you're approved, and get started on your investment journey today. Okay, so during COVID, you're at the situation where you're like, okay, I'm not working. I've drank a whole case of beers in 3 days. There's more to life. I get on YouTube, go from there.
Yes, and then YouTube now, I start now. So what they say first, to be able to do everything, it's your health first. Look after your health. And then I Google what now can do. it was the time to go to the gym, or there's a lot of activity there you can go. And then I look and I say, walking is much better. So, and then I say, okay, let me try for walk. So, and the reason also I choose walk is it doesn't, you don't need to there's no pain, there's anything there. You just walk.
Like running, jogging,
yes.
You were like, no,
Yes,
I don't,
yes.
the less pain as possible.
Yes, the less pain is what I want.
Okay.
And just from just walking, 15 minutes, 30 minutes to come in there, and then keep walking. And that why walking is where now I was listening first at this motivation speaker called Jimmy Rohn to motivate you. And then I was sitting him there, and then later I did, because I just listening everything. I also Googled what is it? Napoleon Hills.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Quickly, how did you find the effects of walking when you started? Like, did you feel like, oh?
Yeah. So, but first time when I started, I wasn't feeling anything. I could see there was nothing was changing. I could still have big stomach. I would just walk. When I go on weight, I see there was nothing was changing. But somehow I keep going.
Did you like it though?
Yes, I enjoying it because of it was also time to listen. Yeah, because it was hard to listen in the house.
But what made you find those audio plays?
There's nothing. I was just looking, and then whatever comes, I listen without knowing whatever comes. But when I started Jim Rohn, I think it was just about to like a business advice, and then comes in, and then comes Napoleon Hill, so something like that. So you listen, and then something else come up like that. So that is how I work. But because I want to listen, so it will me keep walking. So now I forgot about losing the weight. So I was just walking to be able to have time to listen, and also time to leave the house instead to stay at the house the whole day.
So like the walking was like an escape.
Yes, it was escape to go out, but also it was building me without knowing. Yes, it was building me my health. It was building me in the knowledge. Yes, so it changed it completely, the walking.
So it was like, even so towards the days you were getting maybe even excited, like, yes, I'm gonna go walk.
Yes,
Yeah,
so go
so
walk, and then and also I did things to do is I had to buy, because walking is not easy. So, and then when I was also, you see, I was looking everything in YouTube, and then also I was looking something else, and they said, look, to be able to continue to motivate walking, so you have to have your shoes for walk, and you have to put on front of your bed. So make sure when you wake up, you see those sneakers shoes, it remind you to go for walk. So that is what I did.
You put that in your room?
Yes, room, I wake up, you see my shoes, Adidas, and I put them there, I go for walk.
What made you become consistent? Because consistency, especially when it comes to health, working out, people, they do it, they start a few days, it's raining tomorrow, I'm tired, I had a few beers. What's the key to consistency?
So the key to consistency is just that planning. That's put those shoes there. Yes. So it was like guilty. So when even I have a drink, I have headache, I see those shoes there, I say, no, I have to go. So that was the most it was making me to go for walk, and then also to continue to listen the program. So the program was keep in my mind now, and always I want to listen here, because I couldn't be able to listen in the house.
Yeah.
Only way I could listen is when
you go for a walk. I think it's an important message, because a lot of people, especially when they come to even maybe your age and younger, is like, going to the gym might be too much. It's a lot, you're sweating, maybe not everyone has that up for it. But I think something like walking and what you've been able to lead by example doing, it's a great way for you to keep your health, Yes, and then also when you're walking, between the walking, so now your body starts feeling it now. So now that's what now continue now to inspire you. So your body starts feeling it. Your body starts getting used to it. You sweat, you do things there, you come home, you shower, you are ready to do something else. So also that is good, because the progress you do, so the feeling kick in.
So when the feeling, your body kick in, so you continue. You don't stop.
You didn't stop. Okay, no, and I think the thing with the shoes, that's a good way to put it, because you feel guilty. If you look and you go to sleep and you saw you didn't touch those shoes and you didn't touch those clothes, you feel like, damn.
Yes, and then also coming now, I have now to buy now clothing, just go for walk. Yes, I had all my tracksuit, my shoes and the socks just for walk. So also it was like something also you feel, I want to just wear my tracksuit, just go for walk.
Go for a walk. And I think like when we went to Perth, I think that's when I really saw like how dedicated you were. When we went to Perth, you went out, you stayed up till later than maybe me, or we came in at the same time. No, I was already sleeping, but you were so tired. But 7 a.m. around early in the morning, you went up, you went for your walk around wherever you went. So I think that showed, and it's good to lead by example.
Yes, even if I travel, I have my program to go for a walk.
Yeah.
Yes, because you see that now when I'm learning now, that's what I realize now, what you're planning your life. So your health is the same important like eating. So because every day you have to eat. So if you have to eat, it's the same you have to go to exercise. So it had to be in your program. Yes, I'm traveling. I go to do business here and there. So the program you put, your walking has to be in. Yes. Whatever appointment you do, you're going out, you eat, you have a plan. And what time for my walking? Is it early in the morning? Is between. So, and the good things for walk now, you can do it between your program, between your day. So before, like for example, used to come from work, instead to go for walk, I'd rather to sleep. But now I can't sleep. So I have to go to walk first, maybe I can come sleep later.
You sleep later. Okay, so now you're going for these walks and you're listening to this audio. How did you start getting into the now deeper talks?
Yeah, so now when I was listening all that change, now I get now another motivation speaker, which is Neville Goddard. He was talking about God. But when we talk about God, he changed because he was talking a different what I had been learning before. When he talked about Bible, it was a different for what I learned. So it was intriguing me. I was saying, this guy is crazy? How can come this guy say something like this?
What was he saying about the Bible? And
so
what
he said the Bible, it's biological, is your biology. Yes. It's your biography, sorry. It's your biography. So the Bible, when you read the Bible, it's each individually in the world. Yes. The Bible is not a history book. So he said the Bible, when you read Bible, is not about Jesus or Judah or all those prophets you hear, Moses. They are not people who lived. No. Those, they are state of consciousness everybody goes through.
So state of consciousness.
Yes, yes. So everybody in the Bible, not people who live. So that is why everything you hear in the Bible, it's in your mind. And everybody who look your life. So that is why now he's very smart. So you have to witness it. So when he said that, when I look back in my life and I read the Bible, I see myself in there. So the journey, leave your country, go to different country, life every day. Your mind, your thinking, you see yourself in the Bible. And he says something, there is no God who lives in the sky. God lives in our mind. And he questioned something, say, look, tell me anything which somebody has made without going his mind first. He said, look around, look the table you are sitting in, look everything around you. It starts with somebody's mind, because it's where God communicates to us. So it was changed because I could believe it, but it was hard and take 2 years also to believe what he says is true. Even
it took 2 years.
Yes, to accept it, because I could thinking, this guy, no.
And that's why they say and that's why it's very important with self-awareness, self-reflection. But that's why they say the ages from 1 to 7, the programming that's done within those ages, that can take years, months, time to unwind, because it's been a program. It's embedded in like your system, you know, because it's like we're in a system, and those ages, and you grow up, that it's so embedded. So now when you read something or you explore something.
Hey guys, I know you're enjoying this video. Let me quickly tell you about this product that we have. It's a cling wrap, foil, and baking paper organizer. It will organize your drawer. If you're anything like me, you have that drawer in the kitchen that, you know, you open and it's just like so messy. It has like a foil box and, you know, all of that messy stuff. This product will put everything in one. You can slide your products in, and really easy to access, easy to use, easy to cut. Get it. Link in the video.
It's like, wow, it's like questioning the program that you fed, but you kept being curious, and I think then it said, whoa.
Yes. You see, again, is that consistency. Keep listening, and also remember when you're listening, something say no, don't trust this one.
Really?
Yes.
So you were skeptical about it.
Yes, about that. And now, wherever I try to talk to all my friends, everybody, no, you can't. So I always remain by myself, because you can't tell anyone. I can talk to Rose; she doesn't even want to listen about that.
What happened when you used to tell mom? Or what would you say?
As I say, Rose, can you listen? This guy, what he's saying things there. I don't know what he say. I don't listen. Those people, they are false prophets.
So you would tell her what he was saying, like the Bible's not.
Yes.
And she was just like, mom was like, nah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All other friends, I could tell them. Everybody could understand. No, but that is how they have marketed in our mind to believe only one thing. Yes.
So sorry to interrupt you. I only want to go back. So one thing important is, it hit you when you said, I saw my journey, my story. I saw myself in the Bible.
Yes. My story is in Bible. Yes. The journey to leave Rwanda, to be here, you read the Bible, you see it. Jacob, Joseph, all that state people goes through every day.
And what about Jesus?
So Jesus now, it's the end. Jesus is when you reach what you want to go. Jesus is when your desire coming from. You're looking at Job. The process to look Job, it's a journey. So when the end you get that job, that is Jesus. You look money, you look business, you're looking at contract. So the sooner you get that contract, that is your desire. That is Jesus. So is it our desires? That is what Jesus and God mean. And to get them is just through the mind. Mm-hmm. So like now I can give you whatever you could quote. I say, look, you can't go to heaven without going through Jesus. So as we taught to go to heaven, and first of all, we think heaven is an area, or hell is an area where people go to walk to go. You know? Because that's what I say. To go to heaven, you have to go through Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes. And we thought it's the area we go or walking. No. It's to achieve your desire. So you have to go through Jesus. And Jesus, which is your mind. Every success you get, it comes from your mind. To be able to reach it, you have to continue to use your mind until you reach it.
So you think, because I think that's, for me, ever since I was younger, it's that thing of heaven and hell, because it's the unknown. So you think, what happens when I die? And so I think that's also such a hook, you know, because that's something that I've always thought, like, is heaven a place? And they say, is it, I'm going and I'm in church and I'm singing, like my soul is there, like I'm singing in church, like that's what heaven is described, and hell is the gnashing of teeth, you know, and you're described hell in the way the Bible describes it. So you're saying the way the Bible describes hell is like a metaphor of how you feel when maybe your life is miserable.
Yes. So when your life is miserable, you are in hell. That's how it works, because hell is not an area. So for example, if your child who live with the parents, and the parents, they are abuser, that child's living in hell, even though he has everything. So you have marriage, you have a wife or a husband is beating you, abusing you, you are living in hell. That's what it means, because hell and heaven, they're in your mind. They're state of conscience. Yes. Everything you see good or evil, you see it in your mind. You can't see it on the street. Yes. But you see, they used to show the pictures. They used to educate us, this is where you go if you continue to do wrong things on earth. And that is not right. We were trying to share the other. I was wondering, no one has shared me this before until I Google it. So that this mind to bring it, to share with my friends, my Africans, relative, brothers and sisters, it's the key. We share it, and we can share the other one. The hard thing is to accept it, because it's been in our mind for long, especially for us Africans. Is people with fear. We have a fear to talk about this Christianity. We have a fear to change our belief. And the fear, now discovered. See, now whatever you continue reading and you look back and you go wonder, wow, maybe this is the reason. Because since I came to Australia, I could see when you go all those at church, this local church, most of local church, they are dying. There are not many people going there. So the Western white community, they don't go to church like they used to do before. So, but back home, people go to church.
Even till today, it's full.
It's full.
Back
so
in
now,
Africa.
the reason now, I can see now, the colonial came to Africa and they bring the religion and they bring to us. And they market to us without questioning at all.
But, okay, let me stop you there. But I need to do my research on this, but
Yes.
I've seen stories, and when you think about it, Africa was the original place.
Yes.
That's where life, Africa. So the
Exactly,
Bible,
yes.
if we're going to talk about it, says, yes, you see Jerusalem, but it was black people, or not black people, Arab in Africa. So is there a chance that the Bible was there way before the colonizer came? Was there a chance, and they had it in their own translations? Was there a chance that the Bible, those teachings, because from Egypt, the Egyptians, you see that quite a lot in the Bible, was that already in Africa before the colonial came? Or did the colonials now use that same thing that they already knew about, but just use it to manipulate and control people?
Yeah. So what is now, so the difference is, so what is in the Bible is what is mind of people. So the people who wrote the Bible had everything in their mind. So the whole world, we have the same concept of life, which is any different, any belief. The concept is the same. So now, when they came to Africa, the Western country, they had that upfront to translate the Bible in written. So that's where there was be a hand for Africans. So they were ahead for us. So now when they came, so they came with only one translation.
English,
but also to tell us, go live in heaven. You have to be careful. You can't do anything there. So they bring us in fear.
But was that same Bible?
Yes, it's the same Bible.
So was it still in Africa?
Yes, it was still in Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
But they came in and?
Yes, they came in, they say, this is how it is. You have to obey the command. This is the 10 commandments. You have to obey them. Otherwise, you go to hell.
Hey, I got a question for you. Are you smart? Are you a visionary? Well, the fact that you are watching this podcast is a good thing. I got something to tell you. I know time is the most valuable asset, so I'm going to get straight to the point. Here at the Rubasha Family Podcast, we've been focused on consistent output, getting amazing and quality content out to the people who come and support. How can we add value to people's lives? Now, you could be a small business owner or entrepreneur who wants to be able to expand your visibility, get your product or service in front of as many people as possible. The day and age that we're in, social media, podcasts, the fact that they're growing so much on YouTube is allocating more budget into the podcast section in media. Why can't you be smart? Why can't you get ahead of the competitors and put your advertisements, put your visibility, your brand in front of as many people as possible? You could actually be one of the ones who was really smart in order to take advantage of this opportunity and put your ads in one of our videos at our lower prices as they are now compared to what they will be as our audience continues to grow and expand as much as we're consistent. So if you're really interested in having an advertisement space or brand visibility at the Rubasha Family Podcast, link is in the description. Send us an email and let's talk. Back to the video. Okay, so your version of, talk about what you were saying.
So what I'm saying now, the more colonial came now, so they came with only one translation. And they want to tell us how we got to live and how the Bible was. So now because they came maybe with the power and everything's there, so that's how they teach us. Because even the school, to open the school, they're the one who opened the school. So now when they opened the school, the colonial, when they came with missionaries. So missionaries, they were on ground.
Going and teaching people.
Going, teaching people. If you look the whole continent of Africa, and each village, they have a church. They have a building church, and they did it for long time. Every city, every suburb in Africa, Catholic or other the regional, they have their churches.
Okay, so
even the school is belong to them.
The schools belong to the churches.
Yes,
that's how much power.
That's how much power is. That's how they make us to be able to control all African generation.
And they say if you can control the mind, you got to program.
Education.
Program the children from the kids. It starts from the kids. Exactly. From 1 to 5. Let's, you grew up in a Catholic house. That was the program.
Because all educational system, everything there came from outside. Every readers, every people who become leader, the president, you see, even when they used to fight for colonial to fight to be free, also they went through those schools. So which is good. So they went to the school, the colonial school, and then later they fight against them. But the priests, and they were already in people's mind.
In people's minds. And the Catholic organized, they run the world.
Yes.
The Catholics.
Yes. So that is how they marketing us. That is how they market about Jesus. That is how they put everything. So that is the fear we have. So that is why after that, it's a hard in Africa thing to discuss anything else. No.
I'll be honest with you, even me, my journey. So I was in Sweden going and on the train rides. I think ever since I was younger, because I had a passion for football, football would make me read. Football was what brought me to books, because then I would take my time, because I loved it so much, to go out of my way and read. So the reading became deeper. It started from football. Then it started to go on spiritual journeys. Authors like Neville Goddard, Be What You Wish. I read all of his books. I found Neville Goddard, and what I found interesting is when he would, let's say he'd have a paragraph talking about the mind and God, 3 magic words, he would have a Bible reference below. A story, for example, in the Bible, it says, when you want something, pray as if you've already received it. So, and it talks about manifestation. So he was putting the Bible the Bible had so much wisdom when it came to the mind, manifestation, creating what you want in this life. And this is what the original, I wouldn't say original people, but this is what people knew. They came into rooms and said, guys, this is a power, the unspoken law, and they knew it. And also used it again for maybe bad.
And now how even our ancestors now have been living the same way.
Yeah, our ancestors
with using their mind. It's everything they took to mind. So because when you look in the Bible, it's a book for motivation, the inspiration. Everything's there.
It's from the Bible. They've all copied it from the Bible.
So anything else we do after the Bible, it's marketing. So, for example, could say meditation, to meditate or prayer. To pray is to talk to your mind, is to talk to your God. This is free. These are some things everybody should do, but we don't know. But when you start to talk to your mind, that is what called meditation. He tells you everything. I'll give example. I want to go to go for a walk, and once somebody say, "Don't go. Why are you going? You are tired." And then somebody will say, "Oh, go." It's your mind. You have to talk to it before you go to wake up to go to walk.
And then can I ask you a question? You had another voice say, "No, don't go." Do you think that's the Bible's translation of the devil? The negative, the doubt?
Yes. So you remember there's two things. It's negative and positive. You go to choose which one. Yes. And you remember it's going to be negative for what you desire. So you desire to go for walk. You desire for walk to have good health, to have the good things there. So now, to be able to achieve, to achieve the good health is to be Jesus. Now, to go to achieve that, there's where you have to go through it. There's go negative and positive. So which way you go to follow? And positive. And then when you follow positive, you go to reach your desire. And if you go negative, you're not going to go there. You got to go in hell. Because you are planning to go somewhere, but you not go there. So that is hell.
And hell is in the realm of the mind.
And which is become maybe unhealthy and become maybe or something like where you didn't want to be.
Okay, so, and then you talk about this, you talked about in past episodes and stuff that you are a God. So in having saying this, like praying, you praying to your mind, do you also believe there's a creator?
Yes. So now in the Bible say, I and my Father were one. But my Father is greater than me. So who is the Father is greater than you? It's your mind. Yes, it's your mind. You remember God created the universe. He created the whole world.
So yours, but okay, so that's God.
Yeah, that's God. But it's not live in heaven.
Yeah.
Yes. Not live in heaven.
But there's a realm outside of you that's greater than you.
No, that I'm saying it's not outside. So after He created the world, because we believe God can do everything, we have faith in Him. That even we're Christian, we have to agree with that. So after He believe He created everything, to be able to work with the millions of people, He come in our mind. So each mind, God came to
inside.
Yes, inside. Is live there. Is dwell in there. The Bible says God dwell in us. God live in us, everybody's mind. Yes. So to go through Him, to go through Jesus, you have to talk to their mind. So after creation, you see the creation has already done. Yes. That is, you go to see the life is a cycle. Negative and positive. You go to see the same things there. There's nothing you go to see different. The good and the bad are the same. But so the God live in us. That's where He lives. That's where now all minds were connected as one God.
And yes, and that's interesting, and I agree with you. But my question is, do you feel there is that supernatural force outside of us in terms of the creator? So you say, okay, for example, I am a God, but I didn't create the universe. I didn't create the world.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So do you think there's...
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
There's one within me and a creator?
So our Father, our great Father, created the world.
The world,
yes.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But as we are God on this world,
on the earth.
Yes, on earth, yes. Because He dwells in us to be able to control. This is the gift God gives only a man.
Your mind.
Gift of mind and speech. So that is mean, they say in the Bible, in the beginning, the Word was with God. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. When they say Word, it's you. It's a human being. We are with God all the time. So God make easier for Him to be able to manage the whole world through our mind. So He lives in our mind. And all our mind connected, we become one God. We are not going to see God who will go to come, or Jesus will go to come to save us. We go to see somebody on the street to come to save you. No, your mind is the one which is going to save you. because your mind is your God. And also again, in the Bible they say, he was with God in the beginning. Through him, everything was made. Without him, nothing has been made. And me again remind you, everything you do come from somebody's mind. Everything. There's nothing on this earth have been created. First, one's mind see it. Everything, all those scientific, even to sit here in this podcast, we see it in our mind. Everything has been created. So that's why we see somebody create some things, and if he died, no one worry about if that person is alive or whatever. People who create cars, no one even know who they are. But because we are the same mind, we have to have those opportunity to use them.
And I can say, for example, like weeks ago or months ago, you said in the kitchen, hey, Eve, why don't we start a podcast? You said that, right?
Yes, I did.
You said, why don't we start a podcast? I thought about it and I said, that's not a bad idea. But like you said, it was nothing. It was nothing. And now we created it.
Yes,
we saw it in our mind. What does it look like to have a podcast? Okay, we need to have a microphone. We need to get a mic. We need to get a camera. We materialized it from our minds into reality.
Even, do you know, I had times where I was feeling I can't able to teach. I can't able to stand in front of people talk because I've never done something like before. I thought I was not qualified.
Really?
Yes.
Put the camera and
put the camera and talk about, I thought I have not, qualification to sit in front, to speak in English, to teach people, to tell people my experience. But through consistency, through keep listening it, through keep talking to my mind, is just keep starting. Because when you go to do something, always keep coming in your mind. Always keep coming in your mind.
And I think one important thing I read in Neville Goddard, and he always used to say, the most powerful thing you can say is, I am. In the Bible, I am was phrased many times. Yes, I am.
Yes.
That's the most powerful thing you can say. So anything you do in life, I am. Like that, yes. Jesus is the great I am.
No one else I am. Only you.
I am.
So even though we have family, you have wife, things there, you go to say you, but I am, it's everything. It's your God because it's where you started everything. And that when you look, they say, your mind, your word can kill you. Not killing you, die or something there, but somebody can tell you a word that your day will become miserable. Your boss or your relative, you wake up, your wife tell you can't do something there, and you can't even go for work because of somebody's word is telling you. That was so important.
The word, the mouth, where you speak,
kills you.
Or you speak into the universe.
Yes, and somebody can tell you a nice word. You see how you feel. Like for me, when I start dressing, when people say, "Wow, you look smart, you look good, you smell," you feel wow. You feel something.
You feel good.
Yes, you feel good. It makes a difference. Then somebody abuse you. Man, your day
can be done. The power of the word.
Yes, the power of the word is so powerful. That's why I say the mind and the speech. They say the speech is image of word and of the mind, and the mind is image of God. And that as well, because the image of God, everything you create is just from the God. People who did this microphone. Look like the guy who invented the Apple phone.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs. Look what he did to people. But no one cares even he did or whatever things there. No. But he created something for other God's mind. Even cars. The people, it's now what you earn, what you go to have, what you go to be is going to start from your mind.
I think we can wrap it up there. That was an amazing conversation, Dad. Thank you so much. There's so much for us more to talk about here. I think again, we can have a lot of these talks. I think people need to see this type of stuff for us to just create whatever you think from your mind, you're able to express. And tell us a little bit about this journey of you now becoming a preacher.
Yeah, so now as I started growing to have experience in life, it's now one thing is just to learn to tell what you think it's right. It's just to tell the truth. It's just to share. So we want to inspire each other. So we want to share what our experience have done. Because even in the times, our elders used to sit with the young one to tell them their stories, so you could be able to share what they're saying there. So now for me, it's just to tell you the story, and then it's you yourself where you go to witness what I'm saying, because you have to be witness it. Yeah. So it had to become in you. So no one is going to tell you. So I'm not going to preach you how or pray for you. No, this one you have to do yourself. Yeah, it's your responsibility. Yeah, and especially for us, for Africans, we have to open this conversation. We have to look at the translation of this Bible. We can't only have this fear on the one things, and we can't able to discuss. Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much, Dad. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to the Rubasha Family Podcast on YouTube. Podcasts, everything, guys. We want you to comment. We want to engage with the community. We want to be able to raise important and amazing conversations. So make sure you guys are everywhere, all your platforms, subscribe to the Rubasha Family Podcast. There's a lot more conversations. And yeah, thanks very much, Dad.